Welcome to MedGate Today TV Digital, one of world's foremost healthcare media platform. And today we are privileged to be in the conversation with Mr. Abdulla Azizov, Director of Agency for the Development of the Pharmaceutical Industry, the key authority driving Uzbekistan pharmaceutical reforms, localization strategy, and global healthcare partnership. In this interview, we will explore Uzbekistan's expanding role in the global pharmaceutical value chain and its growing position as a strategic healthcare hub in Central Asia. So starting with the very first, sir, I just want you to please give the little brief about yourself, about your vision to all the audiences who are listening to you.
My name is Abdulla, surname is Azizov. I'm the chairman of Pharmaceutical Industry Development Agency in Uzbekistan. So our agency is responsible for the development of industry and regulation. We're responsible for education, R&D, so everything related to pharmaceuticals. And my background is I'm an IT specialist with finance and economics background.
Wow.
And I lived in Denmark 15 years. I was working for the largest companies of Denmark in different positions. Then I came back to Uzbekistan in 2019. I was a deputy chairman in State Tax Committee. Then I was a deputy Minister of Health. And I was also deputy chairman in Almalik Mining Company. It's the second largest company of Uzbekistan. So for the last 2 years, I've been heading pharmaceutical industry in Uzbekistan.
Very nice, sir. The brief which you have given, it shows that you have a very great hold in the pharmaceutical industry. So let's start with the very first question about this pharmaceutical market only. So globally, this pharmaceutical market is projected to reach around USD 1.8 trillion by 2030. So where does Uzbekistan position itself within this expanding global value chain?
Well, pharmaceutical market is growing, definitely. But on top of that, biotechnology market is growing even faster. So Uzbekistan is trying to be active in both areas. It's not only pharmaceuticals, also biotechnology. Biotechnology is not only in human healthcare, but also in like agriculture or different industries. Somehow you can correlate those different industries, and then you have to also focus on the biotechnology. Uzbekistan is positioning itself to be a pharmaceutical hub for the region, for Central Asia and for CIS. And of course, in next stage, we want to grow to other, regions. It could be, for example, MENA region, or it could be Africa and other countries, where Uzbekistan is not only trying to position itself to manufacture only generic products, but eventually Uzbekistan should be also focusing on the development of R&D, on the development of new drugs. We have to be heavily integrated to the whole global ecosystem. Otherwise, there is no because only with generics, it's difficult to hold your position, and to turn into yourself into a hub is not possible.
Yeah, very well said, sir. And the kind of strategy Uzbekistan is having for the future roadmap, it shows that the Uzbekistan is penetrating to the more challenging and pressing issues which make it more efficient. And as you said, a lot of things about the Uzbekistan strategy for the next years. So how Uzbekistan is accelerating pharmaceutical localization and regulatory reforms? Because nowadays regulatory reforms are the most crucial and critical points in making any industry to the accelerating point. So what measures are strengthening the cross-border healthcare collaboration?
Yeah, you rightly mentioned about the regulation. Basically, regulation is the foundation of pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
If you don't have a proper foundation established, then there is no way you can develop the whole industry.
Yeah.
Because there will be no trust by other countries. There will be no trust even by your local people into the quality of the products. So for that matter, Uzbekistan is putting a lot of effort to completely revise the regulation. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. Basically, what we are trying to do is we want to take the regulation rules from advanced countries, such as what European Union is, it's quite famous when it comes to regulation. US is very famous, and then South Korea and other countries. But in our case, we're trying to reflect many things from Europe. So we're getting European standards. We're adapting to local standards. And we don't want to make a lot of adjustments in the regulation, but we want to stick to the European standards. Well, we started this activity, of course, first with the WHO. As you know, WHO has a global benchmarking tool where you can do the maturity level assessment. Uzbekistan has submitted its application for a maturity assessment. We need to figure out where we are. We need to find our fit, and how stable we are. Then we need to get a lot of recommendation how we need to improve. So we're working with WHO on that specific area, and we're also cooperating with WHO on the laboratory pre-qualification. So our regulation has laboratory. We are doing a pre-qualification together with WHO. This is also an ongoing process at this point in time. And on top of that, we're also getting ICH standards. Uzbekistan became a candidate for ICH. So we're also doing a lot of certain developments in the regulation. Well, we don't want to only adopt, but we also want to make sure that we are participating in the development of certain regulation rules. And so Uzbekistan is, of course, paying a lot of attention to the development of the industry, where manufacturing is quite developed in Uzbekistan. For that matter, it's very important that you are doing a lot of export operations. When you have an export, then of course you have a bigger volume of manufacturing. Once you have a bigger volume of manufacturing, that means there's an economy scale, so you can lower the unit cost. So there are many things associated with this process. In order to enhance these export operations, we submitted our application for PICS organization. So Uzbekistan is expecting by the end of this year the inspection from PICS organization. So this is also one of the critical area where we're really putting focus on.
Yeah, and the only thing which makes any country make out of the box is the collaboration. When we do collaboration and a lot of new technologies, development and regulatory reforms, it makes you a smoother pathway to achieve the goal which the country is having to do in the next years. So with the same, sir, what investment or policy shifts your country is prioritizing to attract the global pharma and medtech players into your country and to the Central Asia, which is an emerging strategic healthcare corridor?
Well, first of all, I think we should be very helpful to our government, to our president. He has been playing the key role in the development of whole economy. We admit that fact, where he is very active in terms of integrating Central Asia. First of all, the Central Asian countries, they were very locking each other outside. Before 2017, even we had borders that were closed. It was difficult to even commit to neighboring countries. With the current politics, lots of things has changed. Our president has been playing the key role in the establishment of nice neighborhood relationship, with all neighboring countries. And on top of that, our president has been driving the major role, or he has been playing the key role when it comes to integration of Central Asia to, for example, European Union. Last year in Samarkand, we had the first European Union and Central Asian summits, and it was the first time. And our president also visited the European Union, Brussels, in November last year. He also signed a strategic document on the collaboration and cooperation. And he has also been playing key role in integration to Asian countries, including India, China, and all other countries. And then, of course, US is also one of the important, players in the whole global economy. So there was also a summit in the US where it was like US and Central Asian kind of summit we had there. So I think this is a very important thing, even though sometimes we don't pay attention to that. We start paying attention a lot on the foundation or on the fundamentals, but the political connection or relationship with all neighboring countries or with all countries in the world, it is super important to develop the trade.
Exactly.
This is very, very important. And it's not only trade, it's also integration on the scientific area, right? It's also on the education side. For example, Uzbekistan is trying to attract students from other countries. We established Pharmaceutical Technical University, which is an international university where, for example, attracting students from neighboring countries, from developed countries. And we will be playing or paying a lot of attention to development as such. And we also fully understand one important part is pharmaceuticals is not a standalone business, okay? It's a fully integrated business, starting from R&D, Back in old times, you could develop your drug yourself for 15 years. You could spend a lot of money. And if you're successful, then you'll get rich. If you're not successful, then you're poor. You basically lost your time. The investment is gone, so it's wasted. It's expense. So now, even big pharmas, they understood is what they understood. It's important to do a massive integration, not only having the development locally, but it should be also integrated to other countries where you have to combine knowledge from different countries. You have to put them together on the table and try to develop something out of it.
Exactly.
That's where we're also paying quite strong attention, or we're concentrating on the integration part. For example, we never had before joint projects with other countries, but for our R&D institutes, I put a KPI that they need to have minimum 10 joint projects per year. So this is a complete different, mindset. It's a different approach. And for our colleagues in the beginning, it's very difficult because they never worked in the integration part. Of course, they were communicating, time to time. They were meeting each other on the conferences. They were discussing different topics in the forum and other things, but they were never running the project together. Yeah. This is a complete different, concept. So which means you are doing certain part of the project in your laboratory, and they are doing the other part in their laboratory. So then you have to, put those knowledge or the findings together, and you have to constantly collaborate and then check the progress on that. I think this is very important, and that's also what we understood. We will go into full integration model.
Okay, and very well said, sir. That integration is very important to bring all the best minds onto one platform to make the best product. And I would like to quote one line from our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi sir as well, that he says, "Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas," which means integrating everyone on same platform for the development of everyone. So very well said, sir. And going towards for this only, that you were talking about the trade fairs and everything. So in the very upcoming 2 months, there is one trade fair named MedTech Eurasia, which is a catalyst positioning, a trade fair which is happening in the Uzbekistan only. So how does this trade fair will position Uzbekistan as a regional healthcare innovation hub in your mind?
Well, since we targeted to integrate ourselves into all players in the pharmaceutical industry, of course, we have to start thinking from all different areas. I mean, how we can integrate in a fast mode. It shouldn't be very slow, and it should be fully integrated. It's not just for the sake of integration. Yeah. Because you can do a lot of integration for the sake of integration, like you know each other, you talk to each other, but in reality you don't do anything. There is nothing that's been done together. So when you see each other, you just discuss what are your success story, but you don't share your lessons learned. I think for us, it's very important that we share our lessons learned. One of the the aspect is, of course, organizing forums, exhibitions in Uzbekistan. So we need to bring bigger players into Uzbekistan, and they have to witness. One thing is just doing some kind of roadshow. Yeah, you are talking about yourself. You always praise yourself. You are doing fantastic. Everything is going well, outperforming, etc., and you are outstanding. But once you bring them here, and when they witness with their eyes, this is a different. This is a different. I would say the approach or different, how you could say, different ways of integration. So in our case, what we're doing is we established Tashkent Pharma Park. This is a cluster. It's a free economic zone. It's a whole ecosystem related to pharmaceuticals located in one single location. Yeah. Starting from education, which means we have an international university. Then we have national a biopharmaceutical R&D institute, we have our agency, we have our regulation, FDA, and we have our GXP regulation, Farm Service Organization. Then we have clinical research center, preclinical research center, genomic center. So they're all located in our technopark. Then we have industrial zone where the companies, including foreign investors, they're right now establishing their companies and they'll be manufacturing different products. So then we also have a logistics on top, because it's you're doing capacity building, you are raising the employees or very good human resources. Then you are exposing them to manufacturing. Yes. Then it's a logistics. So everything is covered in one single location. It's very unique cluster because you don't see such clusters in other countries. I have visited myself more than 30 different clusters.
Okay.
In most of the countries, the clusters it's just a combination, or it's just a collection of manufacturing companies, and they're in one single location. So we call it cluster. It's a kind of free economy zone. Okay. But in our case, it's not only that, it's also FDA or regulation is also sitting in the whole ecosystem or in the same cluster. But in most of the countries, or actually I haven't seen any cluster where regulation is sitting in the cluster. It never happens. Or clinical research center or preclinical research center. So all of them, they're very big, facilities. It's not just in a small clinical research center. For example, our clinical research center is a multi-profile hospital. It's 250 beds. It's a very big hospital. But it will be servicing or providing services for international clinical trials, because we fully understand in order to make pharmaceutical sustainable, you have to pay attention to two different things.
Yeah.
First thing is the clinical trials. So international clinical trials are happening in the country. And the second thing is R&D. So we need to make sure these two pillars of whole ecosystem should also be developed in parallel. And on top of that, Uzbekistan is also providing a lot of incentives. Since it's a tax-free zone, you are not paying taxes for 10 years, as an example. When you bring your equipment or raw materials, you are tax exempted or VAT exempted, and you are customs duty exempted. And for example, 1 hectare of land costs you to buy around $3 million, but then we're giving it for $20,000, which is 150 times cheaper. And we're also delivering the infrastructure to you up to your door. So there are a lot of incentives provided by the government to support foreign investors and local investors. And what we want through MedTech Euro-Asia is those investors or manufacturers that are coming to Uzbekistan, then they have a good opportunity to get to know what exactly Uzbekistan is doing, how fast it's growing. Is it just beautiful presentation, or it's just happening? Once you see it with your eyes, you witness it, and then you are more committed, or you are more engaged.
My next question was that only. That what you will say to all the exhibitors, delegate and global investors who all are attending the MedTech Eurasia, what opportunities and long-term partnership can they realistically expect from the Uzbekistan market? That was my last question to you.
Yeah, so basically what we want to say is the industry is growing very fast. I can give you some small numbers. Our export of pharmaceutical product in 2017 was $5 million. And last year it was $220 million. So every year we are growing over 40%, so which is one of the indicator that Uzbekistan is growing fast. The second thing is our manufacturing growth last year was 155%. So it increased very fast. It's local manufacturers, they're also increasing their capacity. And when they come here, they will also see foreign investors. For example, in our Tashkent Pharma Park, we have 32 companies who signed an investment agreement, and 18 of them foreign investors. So which means 60% it's a foreign investor. Why they are coming to Uzbekistan? There are many different aspects. The first thing is, as I said, Uzbekistan is a very stable country. It's the economic growth is one of the fastest in whole CIS, and we have the largest population in the region, in the Central Asia, 40 million people, and we're the second largest populated country in whole CIS. So if you take whole CIS, we're the fastest developing economy.
Yes.
And so the industry has been developing in the region quite fast lately. And it's an opportunity. What we want our investors to understand is there is an opportunity. You can seize the opportunity. And Uzbekistan is not trying to represent itself as a master of localization, but we want to represent ourselves as the hub for pharmaceutical industry. So we want those investors to be part of the journey. We are always with them, and our agency delivers, free of charge services. It's fantastic. You don't get everywhere. My position is first deputy minister of health. So I'm also open to get or to accept all kind of investors. We're very open and we're very supportive.
So at the same point of time, you are holding not only one designation but the two responsibilities, one for your company and the one for the nation, and that's so great. And listening to you was a really wonderful, so because the kind of things you were telling to me, to the audience who are listening to you, were great, and the kind of intellectuality you showed, that the integration, the global market, and how Uzbekistan is positioning itself into this country is very much interesting and very brainstorming. Thank you so much, Mr. Azizov, for sharing your valuable insights on Uzbekistan's pharmaceutical transformation and investment vision. Your leadership reflects Uzbekistan's strong commitment to regulatory modernization, global collaboration, and sustainable healthcare growth. So, this is MedGate Today TV Digital, who connects global health policy and innovation with all the leaders for the betterment of the globe and their nations. Thank you so much, sir, for once again for joining us and giving us your time, valuable time, to give all the inputs from your side.
Thank you very much, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in Uzbekistan.
Definitely, I will be more than happy to be over there and have the chit chat more impersonally with you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
and it was great having you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.